Hi, and welcome to Employee Training Manager. In this video, we'll show you how to create and manage your competency library. When people first hear the word competency, they often think of certificates and qualifications. But as an ETM is an Employee Training Management System, TMS, a competency library can be so much more. Every organization defines competency differently. An Employee Training Manager is designed to reflect the way you work. You might need to track licenses and qualifications, internal training, skills and assessments, site inductions, standard operating procedures, professional memberships, medicals, or CPD requirements. Whatever evidence matters to your organization, ETM gives you the flexibility to manage it in one place. Your competency library becomes the foundation of your workforce compliance system. It helps you define what good looks like, connect requirements to roles, and gain clear visibility of workforce capability and compliance across your organization. Let's jump in and take a look at how to build your competency library. Before you get started, it's worth taking a moment to establish clear naming conventions and decide who can create, edit, and delete competencies. Doing this from the beginning helps prevent duplicate records, keeps your competency library organized, and ensures everyone is working from the same source of truth. So, setting up a competency library is a bit like painting. The time you spend planning and preparing at the beginning will pay off in the long run. Without a clear structure, it's easy for data to become cluttered and difficult to manage. When managing workforce capability, you'll often have many different types of requirements that fall under the category of a competency. These might include qualifications, licenses, inductions, internal training, work instructions, or site-specific requirements. Because your competency matrix is displayed alphabetically, it's worth thinking about your naming conventions before you begin. As shown in the example on the Startup Guide, using simple prefixes or codes can help you group similar competencies together. This makes your matrices easier to scan, improves reporting, and helps users quickly find what they're looking for. The important thing isn't the specific codes you choose. What's important is creating a naming convention that makes sense for your organization, your industry, and your clients. A little planning at the start will help keep your competency library organized, scalable, and easy to maintain as your business grows. Okay, let's add a competency. It's simple. Go to the Add Competency button and, in the name field, let's type in Advanced First Aid. If you spell it wrong, don't stress. You can always come back and change it later. Under the name, you'll find a few additional options that can help you get even more value from your competency library. If this competency is particularly important, you can mark it as Important. This displays the competency title in bold in reports and employee profiles, making it easier to identify at a glance. You can also add a description, which can be really useful for administration teams. You might include notes about related competencies, site-specific requirements, or guidance for the people entering data. If this competency expires, you can set an expiry period, and ETM will automatically prompt administrators when they're entering records, helping maintain consistency across your organization. For example, I've set our Advanced First Aid competency to expire every 3 years. When an administrator records this competency against an employee, they'll see a prompt reminding them to enter an expiry date. You can also assign CPD or continuing education credit hours and record the number of points or hours the competency is worth. In this example, I've allocated 2 points under the regulatory category for Advanced First Aid. This means you'll be able to run reports on CPD and continuing education requirements, making it easy to monitor progress, track achievement, and demonstrate compliance across your workforce. Once you've entered all the details you need, just click Save and Close, and your competency will be added to your library. If you've created an in-house competency, like a health and safety induction, work instruction, safe work procedure, SOP, or toolbox talk, you might need to track its revision and version. Employee Training Manager makes this easy. Tracking and version control is a key requirement for any ISO or other accreditation audits. Auditors love this feature in Employee Training Manager. Let's take a closer look at version control. Quickly glancing at the icons, it's clear this one is a critical procedure with 2 versions saved. Let's examine it more closely. This is an induction for a new starter, with revision 2.1 being the latest version, and you can clearly see the code, date, and responsible person. And that's not all. Like everything in Employee Training Manager, the data can be viewed in a report, where you can filter which procedures are due for review and who is responsible. To add an updated version, click on Add Version button and update the information. By clicking on the blue circle to the left, you'll get a quick snapshot of who's already obtained the competency, and if there's an expiry date, when it's due to expire. All our data includes a historical records to enable transparency, checking and tracking data entry, and provide information during audits. Also, from this menu, you can quickly check which roles this competency is assigned to, and see at a glance whether it is a mandatory or desirable role requirement. Let's take a closer look. Here we can see that CPR is desirable requirement for a livestock technician and mandatory for a driver. If I want to remove the competency from a role requirement, you can perform the task right here, no problem. And now it's removed from that role. If you need to re-add it at any time, you navigate to the role and add it back into the requirements. Let's talk about one of the most important admin functions in the platform, managing competencies. User access outlines what functions an employee can perform on the platform. In Employee Training Manager, head up to the options icon in the top menu, then click User Access on the left-hand side. This is where you'll see all the different admin permissions. You can create as many access columns as you need. But here's the thing. Be really clear and intentional about what you're giving access to. It's one of the most powerful functions in the platform, and keeping it controlled will help protect your data and keep everything tidy. You'll want to be really selective about who can create, edit, or remove competencies. We strongly recommend limiting this to just a few trusted team members. The fewer, the better. As you can see, creating and using competencies in Employee Training Manager is super straightforward. But if you'd like a hand setting up your naming conventions or company codes, just give us a call or shoot through an email. You can even book a 30-minute power session with one of our training admins. They'll help you map it out with some simple, practical ideas to get you started. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, stay safe, stay compliant, and keep letting Employee Training Manager do the heavy lifting.